This is the KXDS instructional video for how to do the PSA calendar, the storm calendar, and the classical calendar. The calendar of events is basically a 30 to 45 second vignette of 2 to 3 to 4 events that are taking place today or whatever day it is you're doing the calendar for. And they are of importance. What's important? What's going on that's important? If it's a Dixie State College event, that takes priority over anything. Community events, that's priority number 2. Senior lap swimming and underwater basket waving, I can care less about. So please use your discretion when going through the PSA calendar. We want to open up the operations manual. We have 2 pages in there, one for the storm calendar, one for the classical calendar. Everything's pretty much the same except for the open and close and for the numbers and a couple of the small items. What we can do is open up our calendar. Let's go print off the events that we want. Go to Google. Go to Google Calendar. Let's see if I can spell it right. There it is. Google Calendar. Now this is available on the Traffic computer. You can just click on it, open it up, or you can open it up in here. 913thestorm@gmail.com is the ID, and the password is available. Excuse me. Password is available on the paperwork. This is what you'll see. You will see all of the different events, all of the things put together. What you can do is we'll click on Agenda first. We'll click on Expand All second. We'll click on More. We'll click on Print. Okay, on the print range, please pick the date that you wish to print. For example, here we'll use Wednesday, June 13th. Orientation, that's fine. Print description, yes. Print end times, no. Print attendees, no. Print your response, no. Show events you have declined, no. Black and white, sure, why not? And then you print it. And it will be printed, and away you go. You pick that off the printer. Then you scan through the events, and you find the ones that are important and are timely for the hours of which and the days of which you are doing your calendar. Okay, let's get to the calendar itself. Now that you have your events, now that you have what's going on, we open up our storm calendar. We open up our Adobe Audition. Inside the share box, we have our PSA calendar music for classical and PSA calendar music for storm. Please take that and bring that into Adobe. Because I was unable to record the events, record these things and record this at the same time, I've pre-recorded the, what am I talking about? Oh yeah, the calendars. Let's go in there and clean it up a little bit. Let me get in there. I'm just going to make a different copy of this, push it off to the side. Get in there. Okay. Your storm calendar. Storm calendar is the first one. Okay, I'm talking about the storm calendar. Your storm calendar for June. Your storm calendar. Your storm calendar for Thursday, June 14th. At 9 o'clock, the DSC Sears Art Museum Gallery presents that There's Always Stories to Tell. At 10 o'clock, it's their summer exhibit at the Eccles Fine Arts Center. At 10 o'clock at the St. George Art Museum, Starry Starry Night, 47 East, 200 North. And at 10 o'clock at the Washington County Library, it's story time. And that's your storm calendar on 91.3 The Storm. Remember, we're doing 2 different calendars here, one for storm, one for classical. Your classical calendar for Thursday, June 14th at the Eccles Fine Arts Center. At 10 o'clock at the St. Arts Center. At 10 o'clock at the St. George Art Museum, Starry Starry Night, 47 East, 200 North. And at 10 o'clock at the Washington County Library, it's story time. And that's your classical calendar on Classical Dixie Online. Okay, now I have my classical calendar. I have my storm calendar. The events are the same, but the open and close are different. Let's go back to our multi-track. Let's do the storm one first. I'm going to right-click, split, take these, put these apart. I'm going to take the storm music calendar bed. There's that. There's the classical music calendar bed. And now we have to mix them down so they sound good. Your storm. Whoa, that's loud. Your storm calendar for Thursday. Let me turn down this volume. June 14th. And then I'm going to take the top blue line and bring that down. Your storm calendar for Thursday, June 14th. At 9 o'clock. Okay, I'm going to do a fade out here at the end so it fades out within a second. Storm. More faster fade. On 91.3, The Storm. Okay, see how it fades out fast? I don't want it to fade out forever. It's got to fade out fast because we have the next thing that's going to play on the radio. Your storm calendar for Thursday, June 14th. At 9 o'clock, the DSC. Fantastic. Let's take that, hold down the control key, click, click, right click, mix down to file. If you want more details about how to do the Adobe Audition stuff, we have videos online. Okay, June 14th. And now I have my storm calendar ready to go. I am going to normalize it at 80%. Or is it amplify, normalize, 80%. 80% because it's going to go on storm. Okay, now I'm going to save it. File, save as. We're going to pick the number. And make sure it's the number. It's a 5-digit numeric number, and it's saved as a DAD file. Then we hit save. Yes, we're going to overwrite whatever's there. And the title, well, what does it say here? PSA, we're going to call it PSA Calendar, the day and the date. So we'll call it PSA Calendar Sunday 6/10. We'll put that in the title. We'll put that in the artist. Okay, good. Next one, in the group, we want to put this into the PSA Calendar group, PSA Cal. Great. And then the kill date. The kill date is the date of which this will play. So I'm going to put down a 6-digit kill date, 06/10/12 for June 10th, 2012. Once that information is ready to go, I'm going to hit save, and it is now saved. Now, let's do our classical calendar. So I'm going to take my classical stuff. Time to, oops, didn't want to do that. Clean up at the front. Little lead music. You're very loud. Let's turn that down a little bit. Your classical calendar. Do a little fade out right here. Bring this down with the top line. Your classical calendar for Thursday, June 14th. Calendar on Classical Dixie Online. Fantastic. I'm going to right click. Split. The split function comes in really handy. On Classical Dixie Online. Okay. Hold down the control key. Click, click. And we're going to right click, mix down to file. Now I've mixed it down already. And now when I play the two together, it's how I want it to sound. Remember, how do you want it to sound? Fine Arts Center. At 10 o'clock, my music is louder than the voice, and it sounds good. Since this is going to play on classical, I'm going to normalize it to 20%. Okay, effects, amplitude, normalize, 20%. Down we go to 20. Why 20? Because it's going to play on classical, and that's just the way it is. Let me clean up the back and the front just a tad, take off that dead air. Thursday, June. Now I'm going to save it. File, save as. This is going to go on classical, and so we're going to use a 6-digit number. It's going to be a DAD file, and we click save. Ta-da! If there's one in there, override it. What are we going to call it? PSA Calendar Sunday and the date. That's the title. We're going to use the same thing, and we're going to put it in the title. As the artist, PSA Calendar Sunday and date. Kill date. Make sure it's a 6-digit kill date. And then that is going to be the day that it plays, because theoretically it should play till the end of that day, I think, I hope. Then we click save. Okay, it is now saved. If you want to double check, let's go to DAD. We'll open up the library. We'll hit refresh. And let's go to the classical, no. This is going to be in the PSA calendar file. So the first one we did was 7519, is that right? I think so. 7519. Is that it? Yep, there it is. Your storm calendar for Thursday, June 14th. And then the classical calendar was Sunday 7569. How come it's not in there? Uh-oh. I put it someplace else. Let's talk about this. 075. Where is it? Oh, do you see the group? The group is cool at it. That's not where I wanted to put it. So now I want to change it. I'm going to hit the group. Let's go back here. Let me go back here. I search for it. I can double click on it, bring open the library, modify. I'm going to click group, and then I'm going to put this into PSA Cal. And it's going to change the category. Save and close. And let's go to the group PSA Cal. And this was 69, I think so. Do another refresh because this thing is a slow machine. And there it is. Your classical calendar for Thursday, June 14th. Those are the things you need to know on how to do the calendars for both Storm and Classical. Thank you very much. Stay tuned for your next video.